Okay, so let's jump into this. Jennifer Lopez. Big news around her and the upcoming 2025 American Music Awards.
Right, she's hosting and performing May 26th, Las Vegas. It's actually her second time hosting. The first was way back in 2015.
Exactly. But the real focus for us today, I think, is something that happened just recently during rehearsals.
Yeah, a bit of an incident, and that's what we want to unpack,
Right.
right? Figure out what went down, look at the timeline.
And see how it maybe connects to her, her history with the AMAs. Get the full picture.
Absolutely. These behind-the-scenes moments, they often tell you a lot more about what goes into these massive shows, the dedication, the intensity.
For sure. So okay, the incident itself, it was May 13th.
Yeah, May 13th. So, like, less than 2 weeks before the actual awards show. Pretty close.
Super close. And she revealed it on our Instagram stories. First post was just like a picture of her holding an ice pack over her eye.
With that caption, "So this happened." A very intriguing, makes you immediately wonder.
Totally. What happens in a rehearsal that leads to that? You know?
Well, these rehearsals, they're demanding. Complex choreography, staging.
Yeah.
Things can happen.
Right. And then the next stories, they showed more. Selfies, basically.
Yeah, you could see her nose looked swollen. There was a cut right on the bridge.
It looked like maybe a black eye starting.
Yeah, definitely some bruising. And she clarified it happened during Adam Ma's rehearsals, so no ambiguity there.
None. Then maybe a week later, another post.
Right. This time she's with a doctor. Dr. Diamond, she called him, said he stitched her up.
And the update was pretty positive, wasn't it?
Yeah, she said something like she was good as new after a week. Oh, and a whole lot of ice.
Yeah, lots of ice. The photo showed, it was healing, but you could still see some bruising there.
It's quite something, sharing that recovery process so openly in almost real time.
It really is. Gives you a glimpse behind the curtain, It's not all glamour.
Definitely not. And the timing, again, so close to the May 26th show day, it just highlights the pressure cooker environment these performers are in.
Absolutely. And, speaking of AMA's moments for J-Lo, this isn't the only one people might remember.
Oh, yeah. You're thinking of the 2009 performance.
Exactly. Louboutins,
Yeah.
the fall on stage. That was a big moment, too.
Definitely memorable. And another reminder, like you said, that live TV is unpredictable. Anything can happen.
So we've got this rehearsal injury now.
Yeah.
And then that fallback in 2009.
It's an interesting comparison, actually, both related to the AMAs, but very different situations.
Oh, so.
Well, the 2009 fall, that happened during the live show. The rehearsal injury happened, obviously, beforehand during prep.
Right. And she actually explained why she fell in 2009. It was quite specific.
Oh, yeah. What was the reason again?
She said she had to step on one of her dancers' backs as part of the choreography.
Okay.
And in rehearsals, they wore T-shirts. But for the show, the dancer was barebacked.
Okay. I see where this is going.
Yeah. She said the combination of his sweat and the stage lights made his back really slippery. Her feet just went out from under her.
Wow. Such a small detail, changing from a T-shirt to bareback, but with a big consequence.
Huge consequence. She said afterwards she was pretty messed up, had a bruised bone.
So if you compare them, the 2009 fall seems like an unexpected hazard of the live performance environment itself.
Right. Like friction or lack thereof, literally.
Exactly. Whereas this recent injury during rehearsals, that speaks more to maybe the physical intensity and the risks involved in just the training, the preparation phase.
That's a really good distinction. The grind of getting ready versus the risks of being live on stage.
Yeah. The whole journey to the stage can be just as demanding, maybe even more predictable in terms of potential for like strains or accidents during intense practice.
Makes sense. So despite this recent injury, she's obviously pushing through, still hosting, still performing.
Seems like it. And something else interesting about her prep. She apparently runs her ideas by her kids.
Oh, yeah, her twins, Emmy and Max, they're, 17 now?
That's right. Shared with Mark Anthony. She values their opinions.
Which is kind of cool, right? Getting input from that generation.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how established artists try to stay connected, stay relevant. Asking teenagers for feedback, that's a deliberate strategy.
She said she appreciates how honest they are. Sometimes, brutally honest was the phrase she used.
Yeah, teenagers can be that way.
But she likes it because they're from a different generation.
Yeah.
It shows she's willing to listen, adapt.
It really does. It's probably key to longevity in entertainment. That willingness to evolve and not just rely on what's worked before.
Constantly reinventing.
Exactly. Tapping into, current trends, different perspectives. It likely informs her choices in a big way.
And speaking of longevity, we were looking at some older photos, J-Lo going way back, like 1992 up to around 2008.
Yeah, seeing that progression, it really hits you. Her career has spanned decades.
It's incredible. All those years in the spotlight, performing on stages like the AMAs multiple times, it puts these recent events into perspective.
It really does. It underscores the sheer dedication, the consistency required to stay at that level for so long. These AMAs incidents, they're just part of a much, much bigger story.
So, wrapping this up a bit,
Yeah.
we got Jennifer Lopez, injured during rehearsals for the 2025 AMAs, sharing it all very openly.
Right. And this happening, years after that memorable fall, she took on the same award show stage back in 2009.
And despite all that, she's pushing forward, she's performing, she's hosting, and she's even bringing in her kids' perspectives on her work.
Exactly. Which kind of leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
About what?
Well, you look at her history with this specific show, The Fall. Now the injury plus her clear commitment to keep going and her openness to new ideas.
Yeah.
What does that tell you, about what it actually takes, the resilience, the adaptability, the just plain hard work needed to have such a lasting impact in this high-stakes world of live entertainment?
It's definitely more than just the talent we see on stage. There's a whole lot underneath that keeps things going, injuries and all.
For sure. A lot more grit than glamour sometimes, I suspect.